Last time, my survivor met their untimely demise. Stuck in a cave through a massive, seemingly endless blizzard, they fought, struggled, and died. But I never expected to complete this challenge on the first try. So, like a phoenix from the ashes, or maybe I should say, like a snowy owl from the snow, I rose again. Now, you have all already had to sit through 3 episodes of Signal Void, and I don't intend on wasting any of your guys' time. So, in this episode, we will be journeying all across Great Bear, running from region to region, as we sprint our way through all of Signal Void. In the previous episodes, I followed a more play by play, show my thought process as we go type of style, but in this episode, there will be much less of that, because I want to get us all caught up to where I died last time as fast as possible. However, if you want all of the juicy details, including just all of the crazy silliness that is my brain, then keep an eye out for the unedited gameplay, which should be coming out within a few days of this video's release. Before we dive into the weeds, welcome back to the channel, or if you're new, welcome. I'm glad to have you here on this journey with me, and if you find yourself enjoying the ride, then consider dropping a like to help out the channel. But don't do it yet. Wait until you see more, don't like before you've seen anything you like, right? That would make no sense. Anyways, after my death in that cave, I had 2 attempts that ended fairly early, but in both of those attempts, I played extremely risky while trying to secure as many crafting materials as early as possible. There were benefits to this strategy, yes, but it could not be denied that when I was playing that way, my runs would end within the first 3 hours, but when I was being overly cautious in the first attempt, I made it very far. I realized that I was spreading myself too thin. Trying to collect crafting materials right at the get-go slowed me down and exposed me to the elements before I had the proper tools and equipment to help me survive them. So, I made the decision to forbid the collection of any crafting materials until I received the second affliction, because depending on what that second affliction was, it would change my strategy going forward greatly. If I got Haunted Mind again, I would have to focus on moving fast with a high amount of tea and coal. Not really going to be any time there for any sort of crafting. But if I got any of the other afflictions, then I could play instead a little bit more risky and regain the condition that I would lose with sleep. So, with the philosophy of eye on the prize and no more distractions until I have a better idea of my situation, I set out on our new run. Like any other misery run, I started in Pleasant Valley. I followed the same path that I did in all my other attempts, to the birch forest for bark, and into the barn. Unfortunately, nothing of note was found in the barn, so I kept moving into the farmhouse, which graciously provided me with my first sewing kit. I needed to craft head and hand coverings, but I didn't want to waste the remaining daylight that I had, so I made my way to Signal Hill as quickly as my little legs could carry me. There, I secured a heavy hammer, a box of herbal tea, and I crafted my coverings. I repaired the transmitter as best I could, but I would need to return later to finish up the repairs on the scrap metal once I had the shortwave radio. Onward to the Carter Dam now, where I almost missed an item that could very well have been the difference between life or death. It's just tough, because I really want to improve our pace. But maybe, we already were making such good pace, maybe I should just stop trying to do that. Oh, hello, bedroll! So happy I turned around, I forgot that could spawn there. Within the dam itself, I found a wool toque and a holy gift from Cod herself, a Mackinaw jacket. Outstanding finds for misery. It is here that the first affliction, diminished form, reared its head. Continuing onward along the river to Mystery Lake, collecting cattails and birch bark along the way. Within the camp office, I found a brand spankin' new aviator cap, meaning that I had already acquired one of the best head covering combos possible for this challenge. I hadn't managed to find any coffee up until now, and I desperately wanted to have some for the long and treacherous journey to the far territories, so I decided to quickly make my way to the trapper's cabin instead of resting up at the camp office, hoping for some luck. Unfortunately, luck I would not have, so I left in the morning and made my way into the muskeg. I tried not to sprint because of how fast it would fatigue my survivor. I wanted to try to make the journey in one day, and without coffee, sprinting would be unsustainable. Through the muskeg I went. I collected coal at the poacher's camp and made no detours. Now in Broken Railroad, keeping a watchful eye out while traversing through the primary wolf locations. But, I think we'll be fine. No, no, no. Oh, come on now. Okay, oh, yes. Heavy hammer, saving the day. Yeah, get out of here.
I need some first aid soon. Ow!
Oh, ho, ho, ho. Saved by the heavy hammer, baby. For those of you who don't know exactly how wolf struggles work, you select your weapon and then you start fighting back against the wolf, and each weapon has two important values in a struggle: its damage and its flee chance. Weapons that deal high damage are good, but you still need to deal enough damage to actually injure the wolf in order to end the struggle early. Flee chance, however, can be life-saving, because it means that you have a chance on each hit to end the struggle early, regardless of how far the struggle bar has progressed or how much damage was dealt to the wolf. The heavy hammer has the highest flee chance out of any weapon in the game by a long shot. Honestly, by all accounts, I should have been dead right there from that wolf attack, but the heavy hammer saved me with an incredibly early, lucky hit that scared the wolf off before it could kill me. With my adrenaline now very high, I continued on and into the branch line. I explored the cave just past the train car rock slide and found my first can opener. Now in Transfer Pass, I collected a lot of acorns to begin production on acorn coffee. It's not as strong as regular coffee, but certainly better than nothing. Water we got on us. Not a lot, so we will grab the toilet water here, because, oh my gosh, I love toilet water. So good. Before the apocalypse, it wasn't acceptable, but now I can have all the toilet water I want. Anyway, I was so close to getting my hands on the shortwave radio for the very first time since all the way back in my first attempt at this challenge. Onward into the airfield, down the cliffside, across the marsh, and at last to the airport. I looted the surrounding buildings before the hangar. Oh, I just realized that I forgot to write down when I found matches. Well, I found them at some point earlier. Actually, a lot of them. I was swimming in matches at this point. But anyways, I searched the shed, the departure terminal, and at last the watchtower, with the only notable finds being a cured gut in the hangar shed and an insulated flask at the departure terminal. Both of these were excellent finds. Gut is very tricky to acquire because we'd be moving so much and it stinks. So having an already cured gut gives me a fantastic head start on crafting. The flask allows me to keep tea warm for much longer, meaning that I can travel with tea for far longer without having to stop to make a fire. I climbed the steps to the top of the tower and at last was able to start Signal Void. On the way out, I repaired all but the battery of the transmitter, which I would repair when we returned for the final bunker so that I don't waste the guaranteed aurora. I then looted the hangar. Aside from the normal amount of food and materials, nothing too notable was found inside. But who cares what I found? What matters is what I made. I learned from the scrap metal struggles of my first attempt, and this time around I had plenty of it. I fired up the forge and walked out of that hangar with an improvised hatchet, improvised knife, and 4 arrowheads. The improvised knife wasn't entirely necessary to make, but I figured that the amount of time that it would save me on harvesting carcasses would eventually make up for the time that I spent crafting it. Now I had to head out to find the bunkers, but before I can get to that, I have to give out some thanks. You see, Signal Void takes a long time to complete. About 12.5 hours to be exact. And that is a lot of footage to comb through for this video. So I reached out on our community Discord and found a couple helpers who helped me to look through a couple parts of the footage. For this next section, I want to thank Stromer for all their help with making this video happen. And in fact, I loved some of the notes that you made so much that I'm gonna throw some extra ones in with text along the map, so pay attention if you want some laughs. But anyway, back to it. I left to make my way out of the airfield. I stopped to warm up in the vacant depot, but then I discovered that I left my cooking pot on top of the forge. It wasn't worth going back for it because I knew that there would be a couple guaranteed cooking pots not too far out, so I just kept pushing forward instead. My plan was to go for the Bleak Inlet bunker first, then cross the Muskeg and head for the Hushed River Valley bunker, then double back and make my way all the way back into Pleasant Valley for the bunker over there, and finally, make the long journey back to the airfield to finish the tale. On the way out of Transfer Pass, I collected more acorns and a couple of maple saplings. I left the maple saplings on the ground to cure at the indoor area of the branch line, and I left the cured gut there as well. Broken Railroad went by without a hitch, and once I was back in the muskeg, I tried out a shortcut. Instead of walking to Poacher's and then turning to the transmitter like I normally would do, I instead wanted to cut across the ice to the old Spence homestead. This would allow me to maybe find some more supplies and then go to the transmitter before heading to the transition cave. Plus, I wanted to check out the memento cache that was hidden right over here as well. I reached the cache, and it was full of a big heapin' helpin' nothing. Or, well, at least nothing useful. I started a fire there to warm up, and then a unfortunate series of events occurred. Frigid Bones. That's a new one. Okay, what is it? Feels like temperature is permanently reduced. Okay. And it takes you longer to warm up. Okay. That's what I thought it was gonna be. But I actually don't think it's gonna affect us that much. I mean, it'll make us move slower because it takes longer for us to warm up, obviously. Oh, this is a blizzard. But, that being said... it's not the worst that could have happened. This, however, is a bit concerning. So, we are going to... Do we have any... Do I have... I thought I had stuff to make more birch bark. Do I not? I don't. Okay, well, if we're out of birch bark, then... Drop these things. Drop these. That. I'll drink that herbal if I must for warmth. We are close to the Old Spence homestead, and in turn, we are close to the bunker, which the bunker will actually be warm. So... we gotta get moving. Sippy. Sippy, sippy. Oh, crap, I don't have I should have saved some thirst. No, not that. Oh, come on now. Okay, then actually drink it. Thank goodness. Okay, there we go. Sippy, sippy. I should supposedly be able to get up this according to the map. I don't know if I believe it, though. Okay, rude. Do I have to... Okay, well, that's not gonna happen. It's fine. There's another way. With the blizzard active, the bear should be gone.
My fingers feel numb.
Drink our other tea. This is not the way I'm supposed to go. I'm not thirsty. BS, I'm thirsty. I say I'm thirsty. We don't drink coffee because we're thirsty. We drink coffee because we want drugs in our body. Go. So I overshot it. How did I mess up this bad? In a second here, we're just gonna have to stop and find a way to start a fire. Where in the world am I? Not enjoying this. Am I just going in circles? I think warming up's been expired for a while. I should be reaching a wall eventually. Okay, well this is land of some kind. Oh my gosh, how did I mess up this bad? I mean, we found a wall. I definitely didn't go far enough to pass the radio tower, so worst comes to worst, we can just follow this until we get to the cave to Bleak Inlet. Oh, that's a cave. That's not the cave, that's a cave, right? What on earth? I'm back at the frickin' tracks? Oh, I done messed up. I done messed up big time. Well, guys, change of plans. We're doing the Pleasant Valley bunker first. And we're also going to be spending a bit of time chillaxing in the camp office. Alright, almost there. We might dip into the red. Hopefully we will be warm inside here. But no promises with how wet our clothes are. So close to death. I was terrified as I pressed the sleep button in the office. I knew that I was fine, but my previous 2 attempts ended while I was sleeping, so it kinda made me a bit paranoid that I had forgotten something. Oh, God, it's just an aurora, but it scared the crap out of me. Oh, would you look at that. That's beautiful right there. I healed a lot from that night and reassessed my plan. It would be a waste of time to now go for the Hush River Valley or Bleak Inlet bunkers. Since I already passed them on accident, I might as well go to the Pleasant Valley bunker first. The bright side is that I did leave behind a cooking pot here, so I grabbed that to make up for the one that I left behind. But before I could head out, I had to spend some time recuperating. I spent the next day looting up the lake, hoping to maybe find a lucky clothing or item spawn. Unfortunately, they provided nothing of value, and this is where we say thank you once again to Stromer for all of their help and silly comments. I slept another night and headed out for the dam in the morning. I took a shortcut over the hill to try and make better time, but then an act of poor judgment resulted in one of the worst possible things that could have ever happened. Gotta get close. That missed? Emma! Oh no. Emma, I'll get you on the way back. Oh no. Oh no, what have I done? I couldn't waste time going back to get her just yet. She would want me to press on. I'd have to try and find her on my way back from the bunker. I kept my dear friend in my heart as I made it back to Signal Hill, repaired the transmitter, and searched for the bunker. Once that was done, I set back out, grabbing some birch saplings along the way. I cut back across the farmhouse property to save time and rushed back to the camp office. I took the river access route, and once I reached the lake, I searched desperately for Emma Stone. Okay, well there's the cliff. Wait, is that her? Oh, there's no way to know. Probably not, because there's another one. Oh, that's her. Emma! Emma. I'm so sorry. I have you back now. That was very dumb of me. Thank you for landing in an obvious spot. Thank God. Oh, I had found her, and she was safe. I could tell that she was a little worried, but she understood the importance of our task and didn't blame me for continuing on. Now I get to shout out Thorafon, one of our community's amazing moderators who reviewed this next section for me. Thank you so much. That being said, we do gotta pick up the pace because we still got 3 bunkers to get through, and this is already running a little bit long. Alrighty guys, speed round. Into Forlorn Muskeg, fixed up the transmitter, moved into Bleak Inlet, and... Don't tell me. How did they see me? Alright, well, we're playing with the big boys now, I guess. It's a small pack.
Come on, little fire.
It's just 2 of them. Yeah. Oh, hello. Get away. Yeah, back. Hopefully that keeps him off me. Nothing too bad. Into the bunker, loot the bunker. Food poisoning? Crap. Sleep it off. It should be fine. Get out of the bunker. Get of 32. What? Oh, shit. Oh, f me. Keep your distance. Okay. I think it lost interest. Oh my gosh, that scared me so bad. That was terrifying. Faster. In Transition Cave. Rest for the night. Get more materials. I can only take so many mushrooms. Going way over my dosage. I'm a lightweight. That's bullshit. That's some bullshit right there. And run for it. Okay. Stop interrupting my lightning round with interesting things. Across the Muskeg, into Mountain Town, up the rope climbs, lots of good food in the Paradise Meadows farm, finally found coffee in the credit union, Grey Mother's house, distress pistol, cured maple sapling, second pair of jeans, no car battery, 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 boom, car battery, repair the transmitter, into Hush River Valley, loot the bunker, pause. Thanks again, Thorafon, for helping out with the last section. Continue. Back into Mountain Town, down the rope climbs, birch bark, back into Muskeg, more birch bark, broken railroad, over the landslide, blizzard starts. Is it a tailwind? Nope, of course it's a headwind. Can't get much worse, though. Of course it can get worse. Actually, wait. This is great. We avoided getting Haunted Mind until the final afflictions rolled in. This means that I can keep up a faster pace and take a little bit more risks. We're almost back to where I died in the first attempt, so back to the lightning round. Far branch line. Grab maple saplings and cured gut. Transfer pass. Sun is setting soon and I'm tired. I am making it to this bunker tonight. Make coffee. Chug it to keep going. Into the airfield. Along the road. Down the cliff. And we can slow down. Here it is, guys. The cave that we died in. Suck my nards. Later, skater. I ain't dying this time. I made it. This attempt had officially surpassed my first. As I walk to the hangar, there's one detail I should catch you guys up on. After seeing that the second affliction wasn't Haunted Mind, I started collecting various crafting supplies while traveling in hopes that I could set myself up to be able to craft something useful after finishing Signal Void. And I had achieved just that. Acquiring enough to make rabbit skin mittens, deer boots, and a bow with 4 arrows. When I reached the hangar, I dropped off my materials and immediately went to fix the transmitter. The night was young and ready for an aurora, but I first started a fire outside the doors of the watchtower and slept for a couple hours inside to allow my survivor to make the journey to the final bunker a little faster. I then fixed the transmitter, and the aurora erupted into the sky within a matter of seconds. I set out into the negative 53-degree weather, determined to get this done. But pneumatic joints made the journey slow, so I had some time to ponder on the way. But hey, my question gets answered now of like, will they still give me the technical balaclava? Which, again, I don't see why they wouldn't. I don't know, like, it's one of the special clothing items. I feel like that's kind of the whole point. It's like, I'm sure as you guys can all tell by now, this is really difficult. And it's not like a technical balaclava is actually, like, game-breakingly broken. In fact, I don't even think it's that much warmer than what I have. So it's not like letting me have that would actually affect much. It wouldn't be long until my question would be answered. I had a peaceful journey, apart from freezing my badonkadonk off, and the final bunker presented itself to me. There it is. Wrong thing. Oh, we did it. Oh my gosh, I did it, guys. Holy crap. Whew. Bunker Omega. I was indeed rewarded with the technical balaclava. Despite the fact that it was a tiny bit worse than what I had, I still put it on as a symbol of my accomplishment. Then, I went out to seal the deal by collecting the story items.
I think I need to lie down.
Tale complete. Signal void. Oh, you have no idea. Oh, you have no idea how good it feels to see that. Finally, at long last, Signal Void was completed. Combining all the time that it took from the very first attempt to this point, it had taken me roughly 31 hours. That's just for Signal Void. And now, after all of the pain, nerves, close calls, and disappointing deaths, I could finally move on to the next tale. In the next episode, I will be taking on Buried Echoes, which I believed would be the easiest of them all. But there are plenty of chances for Great Bear to throw unexpected twists and turns my way to complicate my plans. So stick around, because the Tales of Misery is only just passing the halfway point. And there is still ample time for something to go wrong.